first week of the Varsity Esports and STEM League Conference is well underway. Ben, we've had an exciting Valorant and Super Smash Bros. Competition on Wednesdays and Thursdays earlier this week, and now here we are, end of the week, everybody's favorite day, Friday, and some of our favorite, as this is where the Rocket League competition kicks off.
Yeah, very excited for some high school Rocket League, right? Rocket League is one of those games where it's kind of evenly spread out, especially among like high schoolers. They're usually really, really good at this game specifically. So I'm very excited to see the level of competition that we have going in today. I believe we have Agriculture Science Early College up against Monroe High School today. So to start us off on this lovely Rocket League journey here this afternoon.
Yeah, we're just kicking it off with one game. We got a second coming on after week one performance. After all, you mentioned with Rocket League in particular, you can have a large range of ages that participate, but Rocket League has historically been one of those games that tends to lean younger. In fact, like RLCS, the professional platform for Rocket League competition, the minimum age to compete is 13. I mean, there's some incredibly talented players out there, and I really have high expectations as we get set into our games today. It is week one. Minimal information known about either of these teams. This is kind of where they get to start writing their own stories to give us an idea of what esports competition is going to look like from their school, how they can continue to grow and build off of that. So really what today is about, gathering this base info, how is a team going to perform on a certain day, and then use some various aspects, some things they've done really well, other things that they can improve on to kind of build that through to the end of the season. Yeah,
and the nice thing about Rocket League, right, is the games go very fast, so often you have longer series that you get to play. So we have two best of fives today, which is going to be very nice and enjoyable to see how those ones pan out, right? A lot of opportunity to adjust strategies, learn how the other team wants to try to play, and then adjust around that. Figure out a lot of troubleshooting possibilities, right? Because you have 5 minutes of gameplay, and then if there's an overtime, you go till it's a sudden death at that point, right? Next goal wins, which is always really fun to see.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, but it's so much fun.
It is, it's a little scary when you go to overtime, because then the adrenaline's really pumping at that point. And you're like, okay, we got to play perfect Rocket League, or else we're going to lose the game. So,
not even Rocket League itself is already a game that gets the adrenaline pumping, right? But you're putting this onto another level of competition. You're competing with your friends on behalf of your school. That's pretty dang cool. I would have loved to do that when I was in high school, and it's so great to see that these students have the opportunity to participate in organized competitions such as this, and even have access to an insane prize pool. The state championship for Rocket League, $45,000. An insane amount to take away.
Yeah, that is certainly...
Or 25 for Rocket League, excuse me.
A whole lot. 25,000
That's still insane, man.
A lot of money. So I'd definitely be eyeing that one down, right?
Yeah.
If I was really good at Rocket League in high school, I would definitely want to do something like this, because not only does it give you a lot of eyes if you want to try to go pro, you can, but also, which is a really fun thing to do with your friends, you have money on the line, right, to win for yourself, for your school and whatnot, and just have a fun time with some friends and meet new ones.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, hey, with all that being said, fun competition, you put them together, you get our Rocket League match. So we're going to get setted for us shortly. I mean, the big thing, again, improvement. As soon as this kickoff starts, Monroe, ASEC in the blue, Monroe in the orange, going to be trying to understand the patterns of each of their teams and their opponents, how they're going to play, and adjust accordingly.
Yeah, ASEC just trying to find this early clear here. It's played much like regular soccer, right? It's a ball, a goal, except you have flying cars and not feet that are hitting the ball, right? So pretty straightforward kind of understanding for this game. Just ball, net, car. Yeah. That's pretty much all you need to know right now. Some clears coming through there from Monroe, trying to get some aggression going in their favor, but nothing amounting to anything just yet. A clear again coming through from Kuda.
Yeah, ASEC has been on a decent tear. I mean, the big difference I'm seeing so far, Monroe has had slightly more of the aerial control and have attempted more passes than we've seen from their opponents. ASEC, though, are really just getting started. They're managing to get some solid rotations in. There haven't been these huge, oh my gosh, that could have been a goal moments yet, right? Both these teams are playing rather passive. ASEC had 2 players in front of the goal. Cosmo, nice carry back towards the midfield, whereas Kuda is looking to regain some of this ball control with these passes, but Cray is going to get that first point on the board for Monroe. Beautiful solo play.
Yeah, Cray is able to bring that one off the ground there and just play patient, right? being able to navigate around where Guardian's car is positioned, right? Just going back to that bottom left corner, able to find that one, giving the lead in the first minute 15 over to Monroe.
Monroe with an early lead to kick us off here in game number 1. But ASEC are going to look for a way to fire on back. Relatively close on the field of play. It was more of a breakaway from Monroe and limited utility to react with. You'll notice that on the ground you have these little glowing panels that you can grab. Those are the speed boost. It will charge you up and give you greater opportunities at various defensive, offensive plays. Whatever you may need to do on the field, your car goes zoom. So Monroe has been using that to our advantage. A wonderful mid-air volley from Kuda. A lot of these plays are incredibly difficult to pull off, especially getting your vehicle off the ground.
Yeah, getting my car off the ground is something that you often will not see if I'm ever playing Rocket League.
No.
I drive around and hope that I hit the ball. It's harder than it looks, right? There's a lot of mechanical prowess that is kind of needed to really get these aerial shots going. Kuda keeping it over in Monroe's half of the pitch here, but Spoon able to able to find that response there, getting that clear in favor of Monroe again. 2:38 left in game number 1. Monroe up 1-0. Kuda just barely missing that aerial, trying to find that clear. And a demo coming through as well. Kuda is gone. Monroe have a good option here, or opportunity to try to strike, but again, that clear coming through, able to keep ASEC out of harm's way.
Ooh, that was dangerous. It was almost a waterfall shot set up perfectly in front of the AESC net. Now it's their turn to fire on back. Guardian, though, is met head on by a defensive player. Monroe have managed to grab the clear, but not nearly enough. Look at these defensive rotations from ASEC. They're holding down this midfield line so well, identifying which player is going first, second, and third, and have managed to maintain possession within the orange half for a significant amount of time. But with only about 2 minutes remaining, we need to see one of these shots go in. We love to see the incredible control, but it doesn't mean a whole lot if you're unable to break through the defenders in your way.
Now 1:40 left on the clock for ASEC to possibly tie this one up at 1 apiece. There's no cushion just yet for Monroe, so if they're able to get these clears and get something going here in the next minute and a half, this could be a very, very close game 1. It is right now, but right now ASEC struggling to get this one out of the back of their court. But it is Kev just barely missing that aerial to seal the deal possibly for game number 1. A minute 15 left to go. Monroe trying to find these clears, but ASEC again on this attacking side, trying to keep it over in Monroe's half of the pitch.
Yeah. Right now, it's Monroe. Essentially need to play a game of keep away. But as you said, Ben, they're not safe by any means. The game of Rocket League can turn in the mat in a split second just like that. I just snapped, but I actually can't snap. You get the point that I'm going for. It goes so quick, but Monroe are playing their own net so well that ASEC are just getting blocked at every attempt they make to break past this rock-solid defensive line. ASEC, though, limited seconds remaining. They managed to get the ball back in that orange half. As you said, incredibly important. Cosmo, volley up to the center, but it's read by Cray. Sent straight down to Spooks. Another centered ball. Can they manage to capitalize? No, not quite yet. Cray up towards the corner, looking for its Kev. Gets another touch off. Can Cray bury this one at the back of the net? It's going to be a slow drifter in, but an incredible race back. Cosmo keeping ASEC on their feet. One more chance at evening up this series and taking us to an overtime. And they might actually get it! Cosmo from downtown! 9 seconds on the clock! Oh, Ben, they're going to take us the distance.
I mean, Cosmo with the huge save in the back of the net, and then the clear on target. 9 seconds remaining now in game number 1. It's looking like an overtime angle already for the first game of this series. The kickoff going heavily in favor of Monroe, however. ASEC needs to try to find this clear if they are looking to stay in this one. We'll find that spike. Overtime indeed. The ball does hit the ground with that 0 second marker already on the timer. Now the kickoff heavily in favor of ASEC. If they're able to bury this one, what a comeback this would be.
It would be absolutely incredible. I mean, Cosmo better have gotten some insane high fives after the best save that we've had all game. And then a goal in the final couple of seconds. ridiculous performance. So you're in this, VESL. Cosmo gave you a golden ticket to continue your chance of winning out in game number 1. And winning a game 1 in a best-of-5 series, Ben, is a huge momentum maker going forwards. And they've been in control of this ball. Look at that. ASEC, once again, putting pressure into the Monroe net, but can they stop Spooks? Yes, and guess who it is? It's our good friend Guardian, fitting to their name, the Guardian of their own net. But ASEC need to get through Monroe. It is Kev a little bit wide, an opportunity given towards Kuda. Should he be able to get his hands on the ball?
Guardian able to find that clear now, back over into this right corner of Monroe's half. Good pass up, Kuda in position to strike, but no, the save coming through from Monroe, keeping them alive. A minute now into this first overtime of this first match. Cosmo now trying to set it up. It's Kev, the double tap just barely missing, but Guardian with the follow-up, able to seal the deal. ASEC takes game 1.
What a comeback this team just had. They went 4 minutes, 51 seconds of this game number 1 without a single point on the board, despite looking like they were toe-to-toe with Monroe for the vast majority of this series. They found that last-second goal to push them to overtime, and then had all 3 players contributing to the final point in said overtime, securing them game number 1. And you got to shout out your boy Cosmo. Look at that, 658 in terms of the score. That's a combination of points from goals, assists, shots, saves, demos, and also the amount of touches, the amount of presence that you have within the game. He truly was a star for ASEC, and has to make Monroe have some questions moving forwards.
Yeah, and definitely look at those saves right on Cosmo. One of those saves being absolutely crucial towards the end of that game number 1. About 10 seconds left, getting that save in that goal, preventing that cushion from being developed from Monroe, and then capitalizing it on their own. Able to get that goal from downtown, deep downtown on that clear, able to take game 1 for ASEC. This is looking like a very even matchup, and I'm very excited to see what goes on.
Yeah. And I want to make it very clear. Monroe did exactly what they needed to do. There was no point in there that I'm like, what's really going on? No, like it was all straightforward gameplay. I mean, Monroe were playing by the book Rocket League, which is perfectly fine, except for in those moments of starshine from ASEC when you're getting every single player in on this ball, you're having the taps off the side post, you have 3 players rotating in and out. That's where it becomes scary. You have very limited resources to go on through, and it's team plays like that I have a feeling, Ben, are going to define the rest of the series.
Yeah, and really both sides had very good team communication, especially Guardian on this backside for ASEC, having huge rotations to come in for getting this defense set when Monroe was finding these clears later on in that game, also coming up with a pretty big save for ASEC to keep them within 1 in that game. It's Kev trying to get a little cross angle over to their teammates, but nothing connecting just yet as we jump in to game number 2. Kuda is trying to get some momentum back in ASEC's favor after they lost that kickoff.
Monroe were able to start off their previous game with a nice lead. Can they manage to do that again? Being the team that had 2 goals scored on you recently isn't much of a feel-good, but as a full senior roster who has experience competing here, you have to have a lot of confidence in this team for these comebacks, right? And not letting this mental game kind of get to you here. ASEC, so far, have been playing more of this ping-pongy battle, not really these short passes being made, more long booms down the cross of the field, which is difficult to get control to kind of any sort of direct impact on where the ball goes, and it's kind of just a race chasing the ball, kind of following it instead of finding these passes.
And Kuda now just dribbling it over towards their corner, trying to get that pitch around the edge. They're trying to find this clear. Misses it though, however, is Cosmo, but the clear, Kuda still in control of that ball. Cosmo trying to get that aerial flip, but just short on the ball there. Now the pass back to Spooks, now the cross. Spooks in the air, trying to get something done, but Guardian in the area as well. Some slow Rocket League right now, but a goal shot on goal. It is Kev able to thread the needle through 3 members of ASEC and give Monroe yet again another 1-0 lead.
Thread the needle. Perfect way to word that right now. I mean, that was perfect placement. It is Kev, snuck it right over, didn't even need any assist from the team. So Monroe, once again, they've broken the streak. Now you have yourself a point on the board. The question is, can they maintain it? ASAC came alive in the very back end of this game, and if you want to hold on to a lead, ideally you want to give it more of a cushion, or you have to do your best to keep ASEC off your backs.
Cosmo able to find the clear in the air. Kuda trying to capitalize on the pass there, but unable to do so. Ace Guardian trying to find something as well, but nothing connecting just yet on the side of ASEC. The clear is coming through as well. Cray trying to capitalize on that one, but ASEC already in position on the rotations to find these saves. And then Kuda again in great position for ASEC. Pass it to himself almost right there. Able to capitalize in the air. Spooks trying to get in position, but just a tad hair behind. Tied it up one apiece.
The aerial game that we're seeing from ASAC is absolutely ridiculous. Again, we can dream about getting our cars off the ground, whereas Cosmo and Kuda have both shown excellency in it. Guardian setting even up for another goal off at the kickoff. ASAC, though, weren't prepared to react. Now it's Cray with the breakaway. Oh my goodness, this is turned on its head. Kuda has to get there fast, and it's that aerial hit. Look at that, straight up the wall, completely bailing ASAC out. This is the difference that we're seeing with this roster, is their ability to take competitions to new heights.
Yeah, double demo for ASEC, but unable to capitalize on it as Guardian was one to fall as well in that demo exchange. Kuda down as well, but Cosmo in prime position, control of this ball. It's Kev just barely missing that clear, but Cray already in position to capitalize on that one, save the day, get that ball out of harm's way. 2 minutes to go in game number 2, tied 1-1. Spooks trying to make something happen in the air as well, but out of boost means nothing will come of it. The shot just barely wide on the net there. It's Kev not able to get there, but Spooks instead will be able to clean up the backside of that play and keep this one all tied up at 1.
ASEC definitely had a panic moment there at the tail end, and you're about to have another one. Somebody has to get in the way to Kev. He had so much momentum behind him. Guardian just acted as a snowplow, and at that point, there was no one to stop Cray. He was sitting in the midfield, kind of waiting for that moment for the tap. As soon as Guardian got himself under the vehicle, it was already too late to identify where Monroe's player was coming from.
And Cosmo just barely unable to get that car high enough in that bottom corner to make contact with that ball in position, but just a great shot from Cray off of that double tap in that bottom right corner for Monroe. 2-1 now, the scoreline. Kuda now following up on the pass. No boost. We'll get the full boost, however, that orb there in those corners and midfield do give you a full 100% boost when they are collected, so something that you want to try to maintain control of throughout the entire game. Cosmo trying to get aggressive, gets past one, but not the second. A minute to go, ASEC. This is where they heated up last time. Let's see if they can do it again.
ASAC, give me this final minute magic. Again, push us to another overtime. That would be so incredible to see. Monroe have themselves in the lead, but by a very slim margin. And with how much they're taking a beating in their final corner, it's going to be rough to regain that control. Spooks has to dribble this out and away from their own net, but it's going to go downfield. Cosmo with it up the wall. It goes a little bit wide. Can another player get there? Kuda and Cray fighting for that control. Neither able to get a tap, but yet it's Spooks nailing it down to the ground, bouncing over the head of Cosmo. Now, opportunity regained. The insurance goal now potentially happening, where we have a rule number 1 happening in the corner, especially 2 cars when they hit each other head on. No one is to move them unless something happens itself. It's a 2v2. We're going to be finishing out the rest of our game. Who can make it happen? It's Spooks drilling in front of the net. Monroe maintaining the lead overall. Kuda pass up to Cosmo, interrupted midway through. 2 seconds down, this ball touches the ground. Game number 2 as good as done. Monroe have to try to kill it, while ASC are going to play a game of volleyball, but it's going to roll on down. Monroe tying the series up at 1 apiece.
And we love to see a little bit of Rule 1 action, right? As soon as cars hit head-to-head and they're stuck there, it's a kind of a handshake agreement, a gentleman's agreement to just sit there and let the other two play out until y'all get hit by the ball or a possible demo somewhere in there. But Monroe, a huge showing. Cray with 1 goal, as well as it's Kev able to seal the deal for Monroe there. 2-1, evening up the series now, 1 apiece.
Do you want to mention Cray a little bit here, especially in the goal that he did score? Was more of he's been more of this third man, which basically means you're sitting around the midfield when your other two are up, kind of rotating off attack. So when you're going in following the shots, if it bounces far off the wall, if your offense loses control, you're the one that comes in. Cray used that exact moment to identify an opportunity where the ball was kind of up on the wall, nobody really had a grasp, and he's like, "Hey guys, I have boost. Let me just jet right in there and pop it in." That's what he was able to do. And it takes a lot of this game knowledge and sense in order to feel out those various windows that you're going to grab. So Cray grabbing that there, now tying up this series. I mean, this is really how close these two teams are to each other. Yeah,
and with kind of that third man, right, you often play that kind of midfield, kind of the rotation man, right? You're playing back so that if there is a clear coming through from the other side, you're already going to be there to rotate on that defensive side. But like you said, the knowledge to recognize that this play is developing at a fast pace, because you only have maybe 2 seconds to decide if you're going to go or not. So that split-second decision is able to put Monroe over the hump there, able to win that game number 2. Now we move into game number 3. ASEC winning out on that kickoff initially, but a good clear coming through from Monroe as well to maintain possession of this ball. A clear again. Cosmo, I believe that was in possession, or in position, excuse me, for that clear. Now, 20 seconds in. Not a whole lot happening just yet, but again, Monroe, Cray playing very aggressive, trying to get that cross over to It Is Kev, but just unable to do so as ASEC was in position.
They're putting a lot of faith into Cosmo right now. I mean, if all else fails, Cosmo is the answer. You'll see him on this last line of defense. He's learning that, you know, if we just kind of hit the ball downfield, we're going to lose control immediately. He's had long carries and like another save like that. Cosmo is the guy on ASEC right now. And Guardian, Spit, Kuda are doing an excellent job kind of supporting his antics right now. I mean, look at these. You're finding players on the field. Another opportunity. Cosmo goes up and wide. You cannot get any better than that.
I mean, what? That was a pass at midfield. We see Guardian over to Kuda, and then Cosmo up top, back to Guardian to complete the play. An insane opening minute goal there from ASEC. That was everyone having a huge play in that development, and just perfect execution from Cosmo, able to recognize the ball pathing and where that one is going to land, and the communication as well. Guardian in prime position to get that save, but Cray, as we say it, able to find that clear, that pinch off of that left side of Cosmo there, and Guardian in position, but just not expecting the speed of that ball.
Yeah, Monroe needed that. After a play that we just saw from ASAC, the vibe is there. You are hyped after that. That is a confidence you need to get rid of, so Monroe answering back almost immediately is going to be massive for their further success in this game. They're coming up with the win in game number 2, so pushing that kind of momentum, I guess you could say, forwards is going to be ideal in this situation. ASEC, though, I want to see another play like that. I really do, Steph. You got to get away from your own net. Now, this is a bit scary. Cosmo can only do so much. Guardian kind of babysitting 2 of Monroe's players in the net, making sure they don't try to do anything too silly that they can't get a handle on. The game, Ben, I don't know if you're noticing this, is starting to move upwards. Quite literally, we're playing a lot more of this aerial game in number 3.
Yeah, the air is the name of the game right now in game number 3. Cray trying to find this clear. We'll be able to do so over to that left side of ASEC's half of the field. Kuda now trying to get in position to get this clear. Will be able to bump Spooks there. A clear possibly on goal. Not quite. Just a little above that upper left corner there on Monroe's goal. 2:40 to go. The demo coming through, however, will halt any progress that Monroe was hoping to have on that attacking side, that attacking play that was beginning to develop. Spooks now just trying to dribble that one across the net. Will be able to kick that one out to the right side. Kuda in the air, able to meet it halfway. It's Kev as well, tracking down the ball, trying to find some space and develop something for Monroe here. 2:15 to go. Cray in position, shot on goal, will go in. Good momentum swing from Monroe. 2-1 now, and that's 2 in a row after that incredible goal from ASEC.
The best word I can think of to describe Cray right now is opportunist. Anytime there's even like a tiny second where it doesn't look like ASEC has this ball under control, that's where Cray comes in. That's where he decides to strike, because he's just observing. He's watching this very technical sort of play. We don't see him on the field much because he's making his moves so quickly. He's kind of just sitting back and waiting for that opportunity. And Monroe have been using that so well. There's another excellent shot coming through. Kev doesn't bounce off a couple of the defenders there. So ASAC noticing that the pace of this game has skyrocketed since our very first 5 minutes. You're no longer warming up on the stakes. You are hot. You are going. I mean, this is some of the best gameplay that we are going to get. Yeah,
the pace is certainly increasing here in game number 3. But right now, ASEC struggling to get this ball across half field here. Kuda now in the air trying to get something done, but Spook's already in position to get that clear and get that contest in the air. A minute 20 to go in game number 3. Certainly plenty of time. We've seen very, very fast goals here in Rocket League. We've seen goals in 6 seconds off of kickoffs, right? So if ASEC, are able to find this angle and get some momentum back in their favor and tie this one up, we could be looking at another overtime. It's only a 1-goal difference now with a minute to go.
After that second goal was scored by Monroe, I mean, Monroe have been the ones mainly control this ball, but all it takes is one small slip-up, one big tap from Cosmo past the midfield line off of Kev. Use him as a backboard, essentially, to target that shot perfectly. The series all tied up. Ben, anything can happen in these final 50 seconds.
And we were just at a minute. Now we're at 53 seconds.
Told you.
So 7 seconds is all you really need to get a huge game-tying goal. ASEC, I mean, what a play from Cosmo. Able to find those angles and get those goals. A little bit of a visual bug possibly here, as we will hopefully get that all sorted out.
It was a goal. What?
It looks like we must have had a little bit of technical difficulties there, but ASEC Cosmo, that's with 2 now, I believe, for Cosmo in this game 3.
So what I'm learning here, Ben, is the final minute of any game belongs to Cosmo, and only Cosmo. All right, I get it now. I'm watching you, buddy. I will never take my eyes off of you again. ASAC, 2 goals in the span of 15 seconds. Monroe now have to strike back, but it goes wide. They're dancing in front of ASEC's net. Another opportunity, but Cosmo says absolutely not. He is owning this game, almost this series, wanting to take ASEC up to match point, but it's Kuda with the second insurance. This one looking just as good as done.
And look at Kuda here, passes it off of that backboard and then gets in the air, beating Spooks to the position. A beautiful double tap from ASEC, and that is the cushion that we talked about. It's 2-goal lead, 15 seconds left in game 3. It looks like ASEC is going to move up to series point here against Monroe. About 9 seconds left. Just have to keep this ball out of harm's way. Make sure this one hits the ground when it hits around 1 second here. It looks like it will do so. Cosmo does opt to hit it up again, but most likely in the coming moments, this will hit the ground. Cray keeping it up in the air, but Kuda, you can see him spinning on his top, not going to keep that one up any longer.
I have 2 big takeaways from this game. Number 1, ASAC, they like to keep it close. They like to go down, and they need this extra, like, okay, guys, we really got to show up to put them ahead. Get 2 goals in the matter of 15 seconds. Rarely happens in a game of Rocket League. Monroe, on the other hand, they are looking towards Cray. Getting these solo plays, being that opportunity. There's 3 shots, 2 of those going in. That's a 66% success rate. Ridiculous to have going forwards. I mean, these are the teams that can take you to a game 5. Monroe might have gone down here, but literally they were ahead until the final minute. Like, that is how close that this was. ACAC just decided, all right, we're in survival mode. We are going beast mode. You cannot stop us. If you can somehow manage to break ASEC out of this cycle, then this is Monroe clearing themselves to a path to win the next 2 in a row.
Yeah, and when you look at Monroe, right, Cray is playing on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders right now, playing out of their mind. But in that final minute, you gotta know where Cosmo is on the side of ASEC, because he has been able to just put so many goals in the back of Monroe's net too towards the end there as well, and really separate these games apart and give ASEC just huge leads going into these final minutes. Cosmo again in the air trying to make something happen. Monroe able to find that clear, back over. This is series point.
Yep.
ASEC up 2-1 Monroe. Have to find the win here to stay alive in this first series of the season.
They're taking risks, Ben. They are taking risks. Monroe are now contesting ASAC in this aerial sort of game. And now it's Gray again. Another shot on the net that almost went in. It takes 2 players out of ASAC just to stop the single shot. And this is why you're scared. This is why you need to respect a player like Gray. Here he goes again. A tap off the ceiling, set it up for it is Kev. It's going to go wide. Can Spokes nail it? And yes! All 3 players of Monroe. Perfect teamwork, Ben. They want to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, Gray able to find that toss off of that backboard. It's Kev just barely unable to capitalize on that one, but Spooks, just like Kuda did, I believe, no, Cosmo, excuse me, in game number 3, able to capitalize and come up from that mid point and able to punch that one into the back of the net for Monroe in the first minute of the game. Cray as well having a shot on goal, but Guardian in position to get the save for ASEC. Kuda now trying to get this ball out of harm's way, out from above that net area, which is so difficult to defend, especially if Monroe cars are positioned above that goal.
Oh, Monroe. I mean, if we're talking about where the ball has been for the majority of this game, it's been in the blue half. There is no question in my mind about it. I mean, Monroe, they're stepping it up. They know what is on the line. If they lose this game, they lose the entire series. And with how close they've been with ASAC, this is not the way you want to go down. They know what they're capable of. And ASAC have unfortunately just been taking the brunt of this kind of, not necessarily revenge arc, but like, hey, we're not going to lose to you this fast, this easily. I mean, ASEC, they can keep it competitive, they can keep it close, but in things like this, where they do manage to grab clears, they lose control so quickly. Monroe have excelled at kind of this midfield game, where ASAC has slowly been falling behind. All it takes, though, is a little punch, a little momentum, some of the sauce behind the ball. Not even Cray could stop it. I mean, look at this. Cray literally gets knocked out of the way by the ball with how fast it was going.
Yeah, and that's Kuda just in prime position to capitalize on that hit. Cray trying to find that clear, was in position, but like you said, Kuda with just an insane angle on that shot, able to punch that one through, and with that ball speed, it's hard to really get that one out of the way, even if you connect with it solely, because the ball can get moving pretty darn fast. Cray now trying to capitalize and will be able to do so. The pass coming through from Monroe, the clear, I believe it was Kev. Yes, Kev, pass over to Cray, and then just communication and positioning at its finest there, and a beautiful shot from Cray to capitalize. 2-1 now in favor of Monroe.
Cray knocked on the door, nobody was home, so he let himself right in. Monroe regaining that lead just about halfway through game number 4. They want this bad, and they're going to get it. What in the world has gotten into this guy? What happened between games 3 and 4? Cray is coming alive, and I'm starting to question if he can even be stopped.
I mean, Cray off of kickoff, taking that in the air, taking it all by his lonesome up to that upper left corner. That is 6 goals on the series so far for Cray. Absolutely unbelievable.
Wow. He's feeling it right now. He is feeling it. And as he should. If you're down and you're beaten, don't let that get to you. It's always winnable. And Monroe, Cray specifically, knows that right now. He is putting his heart and soul into this game, and they're continuing to pressure ASAC in their back net. This is the farthest lead Monroe has had so far, and bet they might just extend it. That shot from Cray, and it ended up going a little bit wide, and they're trying to follow up on it. This is where that midfield comes in, where Spooks can hold it down. It is Kev can get in on it as well, and it takes these insane pushes from Kuda, from Cosmo, just to try to disrupt that, and even then, it's already Kev with that control again.
Yeah, and look at the boost right now. Cosmo and Kuda sitting almost at 0 boost apiece. Kuda able to get an orb there, going up to full. Kuda now hoping to capitalize on that boost, but unable to get there in time. Cosmo with the follow-up will be able to bring it within 1. Kuda misses it high, but Cosmo able to follow up and capitalize on the aggression coming out of his teammate.
And that's where it counts, is you need to have this trust in your teammates. You need to have this level of preparation. Rocket League, it's not like a shooter where you can just hit a button and it immediately reacts. You need to preemptively prepare for this, and that's where that communication ASAC came in. It was Kuda's shot, went a little bit high. Cosmo jets himself right in there. Will get a 1-goal differential between the teams. Monroe, they're still in the lead. But if we know anything, once these next 20 or so seconds pass, Ben, you need to watch Cosmo. Get yourself on that guy. He needs to have like 24/7 surveillance throughout these final 60 seconds, because this very well could define the entire series we've seen played so far.
And the boost for ASEC right now is also looking very positive. Cray just trying to keep this one out of harm's way, trying to dribble that one across the side of the middle of the field there. Able to get the clear, however, is ASEC. 55 seconds remain, a 1-score game in game number 4. Series point for ASEC, 2-1 the lead. Spooks, however, a shot on goal. Cosmo able to get in position in time to keep this one a 1-score game. But again, the clear. Cray in position. That makes, I believe, 7 on the series.
This guy can't be stopped. I mean, this is done. Monroe, they're going to game 5, and Cray is going to be the one to, whether he's picking the team up or he's just dragging them by their stirrups on the way there. Cray has been the player, the star of game number 4, and there's just no stopping him. ASAC, wonderful saves from Cosmo across the board, but the lack of an ability to break through Spooks and Kev at the midfield has really been the defining factor of this game, and now they're shoved out of the way. Spooks, the opportunist, 5-2. There's basically little opportunity, nearly impossible to come back from this.
Yeah, I mean, Spooks just in position, 5-2, like you said, on the scoreboard right now. 26 seconds remain in game number 4. We've seen very fast goals, but there might not be enough time to get 3 back-to-back-to-back. The way Monroe has been playing this defensive side, finding these clears, has been spectacular here in game number 4. It's looking like it's going to be a game number 5 between these two teams in the first series of the season. Rotating now, Cosmo trying to get this cleared, trying to get something back in favor of ASEC. Won't be able to do so. Finds the demo onto Cray. 1 second remaining. The ball will hit the ground. Game 5 coming up. ASEC Monroe.
This is deserved. This is one of those Rocket League series that, like, sometimes you go in and you're like, okay, I can get a good idea of who's winning this. Zero idea. Zero idea. If I had to go by recency bias, what is this? Cray, Spooks, like, insane amounts of score on the board. I mean, we talk about Cray so much just because he's the one that's like actually getting the goals. Pretty big deal, sure. But what about why you've been in possession? Why you've had so much of these shots coming through? 6, 4, 2, 12 shots in comparison to the 5 that we see from ASAC. That's nearly double, and that's largely due to Spooks, and it is Kev holding down this midfield line. They kept Cosmo in check. They kept Kuda, kind of kept an eyeball on him. And there's very limited opportunity for ASEC to move forwards. And Ben, when you're this hot, when you're feeling this good, heading into a game number 5, that has got to be scary to look at if you're ASAC right now.
And on the side of ASEC, just try to slow down the pace of the game. Get control of this ball and find these clears, right? It's been so hard these last 2 games for ASEC to find these clears, right? Because it's Kev and Spooks have just been in position all day long, and then setting up Cray for these shots. The assists coming through from the 2 of them, from Cray as well, with Spooks having 2 in that last game alone, is just... You just got to find a way to slow down the momentum that Monroe has right now.
If you notice, so how we started our series, it was 3 goals total in both games 1 and 2, but now we went to 4-2, now 5-2 in our games. Game 5 underway, 5 minutes to decide the fate of these teams' week 1 matches. Monroe still hot off the kern, whereas ASEC need to find a way to light that spark once again that we know they're capable of.
The cross coming through from Monroe won't connect with anyone just yet. No one quite in position. Spooks with a shot on goal, but Cosmo already in position. Cosmo again trying to find these saves. Spooks not able to get there in time, but Cray now trying to find this cross again, but Cosmo again, the 3rd time this game already in the first 30 seconds in position, trying to find these clears in favor of ASEC. Will be able to do so. It's Kev, does have a little touch on Cray again, able to get back in time, keeping this one at 0 within the first minute.
Cray and Cosmo, the 2 titans of this high school series, battling it out, a battle of the wits. And so far, it was Cray that came out on top, keeping an eye on Cosmo. And that's another thing Monroe have done well, is not let Cosmo just run away with this series altogether. He can get these big aerial dribbles. He's going to flip it over the head of Skooks and get Kuda up in the air, but Kev is ready to meet it. They're waiting. They're playing patient the game. And ASAC, despite them slowing down the pace like we wanted them to do, Monroe are just matching it themselves.
Yeah, I love the play there as well. Cosmo flipping that one up, and then Kuda trying to just get that touch to get that ball just barely around. It is Kev's car there, just barely unable to do so. 3:30 remaining here in game number 5. The rotation, Cosmo barely getting there just in time. That one looked a little close, but boost to Cosmo's name, but Cray again able to find that clear. A little bit of a ping pong match going on right now, back and forth, blue side, orange side, trying to see who is going to come out on top in this game number 5, up onto the backboard, but just wide. Cray trying to capitalize, 62 boost to their name, but Kuda able to meet that one in the air and find that clear for ASEC.
You mentioned that this is more of like a ping-pong-y match where neither team has really had full control so far. It's because it's game 5. Your entire series has come down to this, but it's been ASAC now who has managed to break through Monroe's midfield's brick wall, as we've been saying. So them getting these shots off is going to be key to their success, but with Monroe all huddled up in their own net, it's very unlikely you're going to manage to break through. The shots have to be piled on in, yet the rotations, they're long, and it takes such a big amount of time to actually get back in contention. Kuda will have the stop on the momentum. Cosmo, another hit, and this is where ASEC can come back in. Cray is cocked up in the net, off the crossbar. Another shot goes. ASEC, they have the right idea. They're doing all the right things. It's just been slightly off target.
Yeah, ASEC has had such great possession of the ball there, but shots now coming through from Monroe off of that crossbar, but it's Kev just barely unable to make contact on that double tap. Now it's Guardian trying to find Kuda on this cross, but Spooks able to find to clear back over into ASEC's half of the field. 0:02 minutes to go here in game number 5. Guardian has an angle, is all up to Cray. If he can find the save, is unable to do so. Guardian gets the lead for ASEC. A minute 47 to go in game number 5.
For the first time all day, ASEC will be starting off a game in the lead, and what a better time to do so. The longest time we've actually gone without a goal being scored. You can tell that they're feeling the nerves, they're feeling that adrenaline, but with ASEC striking first, it's on Monroe to be the ones to answer back. We've seen them do it before. It's just a matter of breaking through. ASAC needed this goal for the sake of their own game, to play back to their style, get that momentum on their side, this thought process that, hey, we did it once, we can do it again, and you can already see the difference coming through. Cosmo looking for this play on top of this crossbar, couldn't quite find it. Spooks, as yes, been playing incredibly reactive, just not enough. Cosmo is so aggressive right now. Demolition, perfect timing from Spooks. This is how Monroe can start to break out, yet Cosmo is just on another level.
Now Cray with the cross, possibly able to capitalize.
Cosmo.
Won't be able to do so. Cosmo again in position. Spooks with the double tap off of this upper corner. No one able to follow up just yet. It's Kev with the shot on goal, but Cosmo again is in prime position to get this save for ASEC. Cray now 50 boost to their name. Cosmo and Guardian, the only ones in the way. We'll be able to find this save. Kudo now trying to find this clear. The pass back over to Spooks, over into this right-hand corner. Cosmo again everywhere right now for ASEC, able to find these saves. Nothing going in just yet for Monroe. 30 seconds remain. They have to find something fast.
Monroe, now or never. They've worked themselves up to a game 5. They just need to get one in, but Cosmo is unstoppable right now. Something has to go wrong for this player. Another shot, but it goes off the goal line to the crossbar. Almost devastating. Cosmo is giving Monroe 15 more seconds to get a goal in, but I don't even think it's going to be possible. Spooks has to try to race, but misses the shot. Kudo sending it down to the Monroe defensive end. ASAC started the series out with an incredible showcase of talent, of nerves, and it seems to be Cosmo, the one who started it all for this team, Ben, to escort them down towards the end. Monroe have to get that touchdown. They need to keep the ball alive. They're grabbing it off the corner and going alive much longer than it usually should go. The tap over the top, it goes just low. ASEC are going to squeak their way through with a victory on their first weekend of competition.
That last play development there was unbelievably close for Monroe, just barely missing that ball on that charge from that midfield, but props to the defense of ASEC.
Jeez.
They knew where Cray was all game, and really just shut him down, unable to get anything going on the side of Monroe. They had looks, they had angles, but again, ASEC able to find these clears, and that goal from Guardian from half field there, sealing the deal early on.
Yeah. Like you could tell, the nerves are running high here. It is a much lower scoring game than the previous ones have been altogether, and this was tense. I love high school Rocket League, man. I love high school Rocket League. I mean, a lot of the plays that we saw out here are better than some of the collegiate teams that we cast at times, which is ridiculous to say considering the level, the difference in experience, the difference in age, and you're still able to put up this level of a performance in week 1. Ben, this is just it. This is like the high school esport that you want to watch. These are the players that can really make it big if they decide to play in collegiate, if they decide to go to a higher level.
Yeah, and this is just something that's so fun to watch, right? Because with Rocket League, it just has so much potential to just be a thrill to watch, right? Because we saw towards the end, it was up in the air for so long from Monroe, almost able to take that from their goal all the way across the field over to the other side and get that one to tie that one up, but just barely unable to do so. It was a joy to watch. We still have one more game today. I believe we will be taking a short break real quick, and we will be right back with the second series.
only halfway through our Varsity Esports and STEM League Rocket League competition of the day, and my goodness, do we have a banger of a start. 5-game series.
Yeah.
Really set the bar high. It was ASEC who managed to take it away in the end after a back-and-forth battle over Monroe. But we're not done just yet, and we need more Rocket League after the thriller of the game that was. We're heading to our second matchup of the day, which is going to be Piedmont versus Concord.
Yeah, very excited to see what happens with this one compared to what we just had earlier on in high school Rocket League. It was super energetic, super fun, and a long series. It went all 5 games, right? I would love to see another long series just like that with Piedmont and Concord High School here. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens between these two teams. But like we said earlier, high school Rocket League often has some pretty high-level players just because of how the game works and whatnot. So I'd be very excited to see how this one goes.
Oh, yeah, me as well. This is going to be great. Absolutely wonderful to watch. And High School Rocket League, it's just where it's at. I know, again, I'm very calm cutting into this game. High School Rocket League, though, just has so many of these exciting moments. And like, you really go in, you're like, are these really high schoolers putting up this level of competition? Like, even kicking off today, we're going to get our first look at Piedmont and Concord's rosters for the season overall. I think the most interesting thing to note, just on the information we're able to gather, is that Piedmont have one of the youngest rosters in the entirety of VESL, entirely freshmen.
Yeah, it's exciting to see all freshmen coming in to this high school Rocket League scene is awesome, right? We do have on the side of Concord, we have 1 freshman, a junior, and I cannot remember what the grade is for the Shaw here right now. I don't believe we have that information, unfortunately, but a shot on goal coming through from Piedmont, just going barely wide. Turtle trying to capitalize on that one. Another shot on goal coming across off of the post there. So we see some very nice shots on goal so far opening up in this first minute of game 1.
2 words I can use to describe this competition so far is zoom. We are flying across the field, and there are no breaks being activated on either side. And so far, because it's been so fast, it's difficult for the teams to cooperate. Like, even if you're putting that centered ball there, because it was such a fast center from Hero, Turner didn't really have the reaction time or the boost to get there. So you still have a lot of these opportunities, but the windows to actually take advantage of them are increasingly smaller.
Yeah, another momentum booster here for Piedmont, having momentum with that ball. Turtle now on this back half, catching this clear that seemed to be a little bit on target of that goal there. So if Turtle's not in position in that half point up in the air, Turner again in position. They find that save for Concord, now trying to make something happen on their own. 67 boost to their name. Won't be able to find anything with it just yet. Hero finding a clear as well. Shot on goal, but again, Wyvern able to get in position to get that save yet again for Piedmont. 2 minutes in, 0-0 the scoreline in game number 1.
Similar start to we had with our previous series. Is you'll see this quite commonly in Rocket League, is you'll have slow starts across the board, waiting for a team to either slip up or for you to get a better understanding of how your opponents play and kind of react to those patterns. Concord almost had that shot off. Piedmont was lucky enough to get back and have that save in. Turtle, exact same sort of situation where Turner kind of drives it down. Hero now going up. 3 players of Piedmont within the same square foot. No problem going through that demo, though. A bit more of an issue. Turner has been coming up quite a bit in our mouths, especially in terms of Concord. When you're getting a nice carry off that, unfortunately off the crossbar, and it bounced unluckily, so he couldn't get a second shot.
A clear coming through again from Piedmont now. The cross coming through, no one able to capitalize just yet. Turtle not quite in position to be able to follow that up as quickly as They Love Me might have liked. But again, a clear coming through from Concord. A shot on goal, but Wyvern again in position to find a huge save, keeping this 0-0 with 2 to go in game number 1.
Concord's defense is insane right now. I mean, Piedmont have had significantly more scary moments, kind of those, oh my gosh, like your heart's racing kind of thing. So the fact that you're able to keep the ball alive for that long, Wyvern has been the main portion of that. Turtle getting in there as well. So with these 2 players combined, have been keeping the score even after a relatively slow start of a game. And Ben, often when you see games as low scoring as this, when we're into 90 seconds, it usually comes down to 1, potentially 2 points that end up deciding the entire game.
A minute 15 to go now in game number 1. A little bit of a ping pong match going on right now in the later half of this game number 1. Nothing amounting to anything just yet. Some good looks and some good shots on goal from both sides, but just a little wide, a little tall, and some good defense coming through from all 6 players in this game so far. They love me now trying to get that flick back, but again, Hero in position on that defensive angle to find that clear over to Deshaw, but nothing connecting just yet. Wyvern now trying to capitalize. Ooh. Turner again in that defensive position, able to find that save and win that 50-50. Turtle trying to follow up as well, but nothing coming through just yet. 30 seconds remain, 0-0. Looking like a very defensive game 1.
This is either A, we are going to get a showstopper of a goal within the next 20 seconds, or B, we're going to head to an overtime with no points on the board at all. Wyvern wants to give it over to Piedmont. They love me with an opportunity, but no! It's Wyvern! Bounced back off of the net and ended up getting in the way of his teammate. Piedmont couldn't find that next point, and now they need to race back. Beating Concord. Wyvern is there once again, almost as an apology for the previous mistake. And it's looking to be a 0-0. This ball's going to touch the ground, and we have an overtime. This rarely happens with a low score line, or no score line, rather.
0-0 right now in game number 1. The time now ticking up. Sudden death. Next goal wins on target shot there coming through from Concord. Well, maybe just a little bit wide, but good defense nonetheless coming through from Piedmont. Another clear coming through from Turner. Now trying to get some momentum back. It's just Turtle in the area. The miss does come through. Concord unable to capitalize on that shot. 30 seconds into overtime, 0-0. Again, this ping pong match coming through, but Hero with a huge shot, but Wyvern again able to readjust and get back in time to save the goal.
It's not even that the offense is bad on these teams. It's that the defense is so dang rock solid that you're just not breaking through them right now. Wyvern even, there's 3 players from Concord in his way. What can you do as a single player? Not really much of anything. They love me. Tap off to the corner. Can he get controlled? No, it's Turner that's going to grab it first. Wyvern, little bit off when it comes to that next tap. At least Piedmont still in control in the orange defensive end. They managed to maintain it, though, as they love me. A bounce over 1, but Turner shows up. There's just not even been a shot that's been as close to the net as these.
Yeah, and right now the boost is heavily in favor of Piedmont right now. They have to get something on the side of Concord if they want us to try to keep up with this pace that Piedmont is playing with right now. Wyvern trying to get these angles. They love me. Does get demoed. A good opportunity for Concord to find this clear and get something offensively going on their end. 1.5 minutes into this overtime. Wyvern, however, on this respawn, able to get that clear back in Piedmont's favor. Turner again with the clear back and forth. Turtle missing the ball there, opting to send it back over to their left-hand corner.
Looking for Hero, it's going to go over his head, and that is all it takes. You can hear the audible gasp from our side, because you're like, there's no way, and this is how the series ends. An incredible meeting of the ball. Wyvern over the head, the bounce. Hero didn't have the right read on it, and that'll be Piedmont coming away with game number 1 in almost 7 minutes. It only took 1 goal, but that score line right there tells me exactly what went on.
I mean, just look at these saves, right? Wyvern has 6 saves on the game. And that winning goal, right? That aerial up top, able to just barely get that ball over the hood of Hero's car there. A very, very defensive game number 1. This is yet another best of 5, which we love. I love how this game is going right now, right? Because it's so defensively focused, and just a 1-0 scoreline is something that I personally like to see it.
Oh, it's nail-biting. It makes all the moments that are kind of like leading up to that one goal, that one big moment, even bigger because they're happening less frequently. So all of the energy is still there. You're going to overtime in your game number 1. I'm feeling it. Wait, this is what we had in our last series. I'm not going to say anything just yet.
True.
We did go to
That's
game
true.
5 there. Can we manage to do it again? These teams are close. Like, it literally just came down to an incredible just hit mid-air. The bounce was on his side, and Wyvern got it in. Speaking of Wyvern, though, he's got to be stopped. That's a problem. One player should not be doing that much.
Yeah, definitely have to find a way to get that ball past Wyvern, right? 6 saves in that first game. Wyvern again.
He's doing it again!
Off of the kickoff. 5 seconds is all they needed to get the second goal of the series. Wyvern again, just in position.
I see how it is. We can't breathe. That's okay. All right, we can keep hyping up Wyvern. I'm okay with that. I mean, he's giving us a ton to talk about right now, and as he should be, sitting in the spotlight for the Piedmont roster. Now, this is the turnaround. It's been 2 goals in, like, I mean, technically 5 seconds, if you really want to think about it. So, I mean, you got to stop him. You don't let him do that again. Okay, he loses control in front of the goal line. That's all right. Concord, please do not let Wyvern be all handsy with this ball right now. You need to have Turner, somebody, is it Deshawn or Hero, just move it away. He's all over the field. I'm convinced there's more than one Wyvern playing. Turner
able to find that clear, but they love me. Able to get back in time to push that ball over to that post and find that kick out that was on target. If the ball had maybe just a little bit more speed, maybe Concord ties it up at 1 apiece. Turner able to get that demo in the air. They love me now on that respawn, but Turtle able to follow up the pass, trying to come through from Concord, trying to push that one up the field, but Turtle reads it to perfection and just capitalizes on it. 2-0 now for Piedmont.
The sheer speed at which this match is going, which the ball is going, is significantly impactful to how the game is played overall. There's significantly less room for goals to be scored, but also larger room for errors. And that's kind of, we're seeing more of this, that back and forth. That's why defense was so strong in that very first game, but also what we saw with Turtle just sitting and waiting with that boost to just full on chuck it into the back of the net. This is why Piedmont has been able to control the series as much as they have, is with that speed. They love it, wants to get in on the action. What an incredible just dribble. It broke their ankles.
I mean, they love me taking it into that right corner, gets it past one, and then punches it just barely over the hood again of Concord. 3-0 now for Piedmont, and only 2:20 into game, or 1:20, excuse me, into game number 2.
This is insane turnaround. It's like you had like a crack in the wall that you didn't quite seal up, and now the whole wall has smashed into a bajillion pieces for Concord. And it's not to say that any of them are particularly struggling to get things done. Turner, Hero, and Deshawn have all been great on the defense. Piedmont have just found a way. They've observed the patterns to kind of outmaneuver Concord on this defensive side. And now it's Concord's chance to do the same and even catch Piedmont sleeping a little bit. Turner gave them a taste of their own medicine here. Yeah,
Wyvern trying to get aggressive with this ball here, trying to get that flip, but just barely misses it. And Turner able to find that angle again, just punches it right into the back of the net there. 2-goal lead now for Piedmont. Not insurmountable for Concord, right? Still have 3 minutes left in this game number 2. And we already saw how this one started out. You only need 5 seconds in order to score. Turner almost again able to capitalize on that one, but no boost to the name of Deshawn means that there can be no further follow-up from Concord to try to drill that one into the back of the net. But Turner again in the air. 1-point game. 2:50 to go.
If we start the series 3-0, I'm like, okay, surely there's just not, this doesn't happen. But I guess the name Turner is fitting because he's literally just turning around the series, or the game, all on his own. And it's also some incredible plays. You got to deal with Wyvern, unlucky on the kickoff draw, and guess who it is? It's your good buddy Turner, showing up to give Concord a little bit more of the breathing room to work with. And this is the other thing. Wyvern just got straight up bodied out of the way by Turner. Concord are taking more initiative right now. They're no longer waiting for Piedmont to make their moves. They're stopping them before they even have the opportunity to think about what to do.
Deshawn now trying to get aggressive. They love me, trying to find this clear. Hero able to keep it back into Piedmont's half of the field off of the corner, trying to set up a cross, but Turtle there to receive it and interrupt the passing lane that Concord was looking for. 2:10 to go in game number 2. The boost heavily in favor of Piedmont right now. Trying to get something going, but nothing quite yet.
They're slowing down the pace. After getting scored on twice, that's got to be a reality check for Piedmont. Like, all right, we need to take these guys so seriously. Remember how close the first 5 minutes of this series were, and now you're really getting a feel for it. 1 goal by any margin. If we've learned anything throughout the day today, is that 1 goal is not going to save you at the end of a series. Anything can happen in a split second, and so far, Concord have made themselves in contention with Piedmont, but are yet to seal the deal. It's Turner again! Look at that! He just lets it roll right in front of the goal, makes the move, strongest pivot angle I've ever seen and just taps it in at the very corner.
I mean, Turner with the aggression. I believe that now is a hat trick for Turner in this game number 2, tying it up all by himself.
There's no
3
way.
apiece. Turner winning that kickoff as well. No connection coming through from Wyvern either, but they love me. Able to find that clear back into Piedmont's favor. A minute 15 to go now in game number 2, and we're tied up at 3.
This is why I love high school Rocket League.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You don't see this anywhere else. Oh my gosh, Wyvern almost gave Piedmont the lead again. I just need to breathe. We got to slow down a bit, teams. Let us take a breath. Understand what's happening. Piedmont are not happy. Starting out with the 3-0 lead, now to have a tie game, essentially undoing all of the hard work that has gone in so far. You now have less than a minute to go ahead and regain that lead. Otherwise, Concord are coming back with the underdog story of a lifetime right now.
Turner with a great demo there, but no follow-up can come through from Concord just yet. Now, Shaw trying to get the pass lanes unlocked, but again, the clears coming through from Piedmont. Turner in this defensive position, able to find this clear across. Turner will find the angle, slaying in wait. 4-3, 30 seconds remain now in this game number 2.
Oh, it was a dangerous journey that Turner had taken right there. He didn't really have another choice. It was going to roll in front of the net one way or the other, but he had to try to get Piedmont away from the ball. Fortunately, Turtle was ready for anything at that exact moment. Piedmont regaining that lead. First goal that they have gotten in 2 minutes. Concord have put in so much hard work to make this game close. Be a shame for it all to go down right here, right now. Turner has to be the one to come up big. The setup from Hero, it's going to go wide, and Wyvern, big bank. Now it's on to Shaw, has to win the 50 out, sending it out, but it's Turtle who ends up grabbing it. Turner, nice save on the goal line. He's going to have to carry this one all the way down. The ball touches the ground. It's going to mean series over, and the tap from They Love Me. Oh, it's really rough to go ahead and look at. Turtle almost had another one in, but it doesn't matter. Piedmont are going to take game number 2 anyways, putting them up at series point.
Yeah, Piedmont now just getting aggressive, able to have that triple commit work out in their favor. Turtle coming up from that half field position to seal the deal. 4-3 in game number 2. Like you said, series point now. 2-0 lead for Piedmont. And as we look at the scoreline, Turner, whoa, right, hat trick from Turner in game number 2. And
the shots and the saves, I mean, this guy did everything.
Yeah.
He was on it.
7-10 the score as well. 500 more almost than the other members of Concord. But again, they do lose out in the game, unfortunately. But 2-0.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be a reverse sweep if you are looking for the angle, if you are Concord. But the way that last game went, it looks like it's possible.
I would say nothing is impossible after something like that happens. I mean, in my almost like year and a half of casting Rocket League, that has got to be one of the biggest comebacks that I've seen in a game ever. And if you're able to do that once, what's stopping you from doing it a second time right now? And Concord, they don't look bad. And Piedmont definitely slowed down towards the end of that game. And that's because they were taking initiative. I mentioned this before, that instead of letting Piedmont decide where this ball is going to go, set up their own passing plays, Concord's like, wait, why are we just sitting and watching them do this when we can just take it away ourselves and deny them any opportunity of their own playbook, right? So after that change going through, we saw this immense difference in Concord's play style. Turner in particular had the game of his life, 3 on the board, and he's going to start off with another textbook double tap. What in the world am I watching?
That was another 5-second goal to open the game. Game 2, 5 seconds in favor of Piedmont. Game 3, 5 seconds in favor of Concord. Turner, 4 goals now on the series. Has scored everything for Concord so far. Piedmont has to try to find a response. Needs to know where Turner is sitting, laying in wait. Now trying to find this clear. Piedmont trying to get aggressive, trying to get some offense going, but Turner again able to find that clear and possibly set up another goal coming through, maybe from Concord. Not quite just yet to Shaw. Not able to find the angle on that one.
Something tells me we're not going to have another 0-0 overtime situation.
Yeah.
Something tells me. Not really. I'm not sure what it is, but just a gut feeling, you know. We've stepped it up from 1 goal in overtime, game number 1, to 7 in the second. Okay, I see it. We're stepping it up. We are now comfortable. We are within clear cooking range. Now, Concord, with that early start, Piedmont are now the ones that have to get their feet back under them, and more specifically, stop Turner from turning their heads around and looking at the ball in their own net. He's going to go for it again. That's 2 players. That's the top edge. Their follow-up going through. They love me. Hits it up in front of the goal. Hero looking to bury it in, but no. Wyvern bails them out in the final hour. Now a carry towards the back. It's only Turner to slow it on down, and he's going to grab it. What a crazy series of events.
I mean, Piedmont, everyone is in your net. All 6 cars are sitting with the ball right in front of Piedmont's net, and they're able to keep it out. And Wyvern as well, almost able to capitalize on the other side, but Turner able to get back in time, and then Turner with another shot on goal in the air, half field. The clear coming through. That is 7, 6, 5th?
Yes.
5th. There it is. It looks like there's a lot more going on than it seems right now, but 2-0 now for Concord, looking good in game number 3.
Well, hey, if you need to get a reverse sweep, this is the way you do it. Starting off with a strong 2 points and kind of stuffing Piedmont at any sort of approach that they're taking. That's wonderful. Wyvern is no longer running this field. It is Turner's game that you are playing in now, Concord's game. As a matter of fact, they have more to play for. They have more to fight at this exact moment. That's been working out wonderfully for the team. If Piedmont want to come back, you just got to stop. You got to stop the guy. You got to stop Turner in some way, shape, or form, whether it's getting it over his head. That bounce actually works out really well. Turner, though, doesn't have a full control. They love me back in front of the net dancing on past, and Piedmont can't quite get the 3 players in that they need.
Yeah, Turtle trying to find these crosses off of these corners, but Concord is playing it very slow, very patient. Hero as well in position to get the save, but Wyvern able to capitalize, bringing the score back within 1. They love me is trying to find this angle onto Hero. Hero does get that clear, but off of that corner, the bounce, the read from Wyvern, knowing where that ball is going to position itself after that corner hit there. Piedmont bringing it in now within 1.
Yeah, Piedmont much better, right? That's all 3 players contributing to the goal. Full teamwork. And Piedmont are realizing, okay, it cannot be wide for Wyvern just to do everything right now. Turtle, they love me, are all getting in on this passing action, outmaneuvering Concord. That's how you're going to break it past some of this rock-solid defense that we've been seeing. So you've about 2:15 left in this game, 1 goal differential. That's not going to mean a whole lot of anything. There hasn't been too much physicality in terms of demolitions or bumps on the board. And, you know, we're starting to see that a little bit more from Piedmont on to Concord. They're getting aggressive. They're kind of taking this physical, if you push me, I'm going to push you back kind of mentality.
Yeah, Piedmont now on the retreat, unable to capitalize on that offensive push that they were going for just then. Trying to get the ball back in their favor. They have control. Concord playing defensive right now, waiting for this clear to come through. Turner again with a shot possibly on goal. This might go in. Turner not able to get there, but the hit is just barely off from Piedmont, unable to get that huge clear, and now 3-1 in favor of Concord.
Oh, Turtle almost had it too. It was so close. He had the right idea. It was just Turner a little bit too fast. His 6th in the series. He's averaging 3 goals a game, Ben. That is not normal.
No, that's not something we often see.
Not quite.
Usually we spread the love a little bit, right? But Turner right now is just firing on all cylinders right now, right? It's hard to stop Turner, and Piedmont is struggling to try to find an answer to these rotations and these clears that Concord have been finding.
Yeah. I mean, Concord are looking so much better in this game right now, and there's that another demolition that I'm talking about, is Piedmont have decided that, all right, Concord, if we let them kind of give this ball, like the entire strategy we've seen is Deshaun and Hero getting the ball over to Turner so we can kind of work this magic. They're treating him as this star, like feeding him all of the resources that he needs in order to succeed. But if Piedmont start taking out players like Deshaun and Hero, then that task becomes significantly more difficult, and that's worked out better towards Piedmont's favor. You're still down 2 within these final couple of seconds. I want to see them start to convert more off of this physicality that they've been using.
Yeah, they've been able to find these Turtle in position, able to find that tap off of that wall, bringing it in now within 1. We see Hero trying to get that touch, but just barely mispositioning the car there on the boost. Will just knock off of that upper right corner, and Turtle's just in position there to capitalize on it. 35 seconds now. The kickoff coming in favor of Concord. Turner able to win that one out, but Wyvern trying to find these clears, but right now Concord, name of the game is just keep it away from your half of the field. Hero almost capitalizing on that one as well. Deshaun now trying to keep it back in Piedmont's half of the field. 15 seconds left on the clock. Game 3 looking like it's going to go Concord's way.
As it stands right now, I mean, Concord are doing an excellent job within these final couple of seconds, just making sure Piedmont out of control. This is a scary sight, though. Wyvern taking the hit, passes it up once more. Can other players get their hands on it? Yes, but it's Turner in the air trying to hit it back down. Oh, goes in, though! But for the side of Concord, oh, what looks so good for Piedmont at the start says, all right, Wyvern, I'm going to go ahead, take this right from you. Thank you so much. That is a 4-2 finish in game number 3. Concord's first win of the game and one step closer to that reverse sweep.
Yeah, and you can see Turner in that instance, he's not going for the goal. He's just going for the spike. It just so happened Piedmont just happened to be directly under where that spike was going to happen, so it just kept it up in the air, and it was just on target, right? That was not the intention, I would think, of Turner, just trying to get that ball on the ground with that 1 second remaining. But again, 4 goals from Turner on Concord, keeping them alive in this series.
He's 7 goals right now.
He does have 7
goals. The fact that they've only won 1 game is crazy right now.
Yeah.
The reverse sweep, entirely possible. You put out another performance like this, is what you want to do. Piedmont are starting to make the adjustments, which is good. They're identifying what's going wrong. I've talked about it with the physicality. We're seeing Turtle kind of step out of his own comfort zone in some of the plays that he's been making. But in total, you're doing the same thing. You're feeding the ball to Turner, right? That's the entire strategy that has been the way of Concord. And there hasn't really been too much in the way to stop that. Turner just can run wild, do whatever fancy, tricky thing that he wants to do, and get 7 goals within the past 10 minutes alone.
Yeah, and Turner is just taking it to the air, right? He's not really playing on the ground and trying to set up these crosses from these corners for his teammates. He's kind of keeping it in this kind of backboard area to try to find these double taps, and then we see Hero and Deshaw as well able to follow up and just keep the pressure on and give Turner all of these looks. Kickoff now for game number 4 in favor of Piedmont, but Turner already on this defensive position, now looking to find this clear in favor of Concord, will be able to do so. Turtle back to receive. Full boost to their name, will use it. Wyvern trying to keep this one in the air towards the corner now. The tap, the pass, possible. Turtle able to get there, but Turner as well in position to win that 50-50 in favor of Concord.
Yeah, Turner's just everywhere all the time, all at once. It's as simple as it goes. It can't really do everything, though, and Deshaun and specifically Hero have done an incredible job at kind of holding down these lines, especially when you see Turner rotating back around. They know how to play around kind of this star player in the mixed, whereas Piedmont are much more of a balanced team in the way that they play. They make sure that they're looking for these passes. They're trying to get everybody involved on this offense, which more often than not works better than having a single player. It's a lot more difficult to pull off, which is where Piedmont are having some of their struggles come in. It looks very good nonetheless, but it's just a little bit too slow before somebody such as Hero can get themselves in the mix and disrupt that entirely.
Yeah, Concord able to do a really good job at kind of falling back on these rotations to get in position to really counteract any of these Piedmont pushes that they're trying to develop these passing lanes to Wyvern, to They Love Me. But again, just the clears coming through from Turner and Hero have just been unreal for Concord. Now across, Wyvern opting to just punch that one across the net with some pretty high speed. Hard for Concord to really get in contact with that one. Turner meeting it in the air. Hero now with the pinch off the wall, sending it to that left corner. Yet again, Turner in position, but Turtle and They Love Me already there, able to win that 1v2. But again, we see Hero in position for these clears. Now is Hero trying to make something happen by themselves, but unable to do so just yet. A good look. 3 to go, 0-0 in game 4.
Even though there's no score on the board right now, I'd say that this game already has looked significantly better for Piedmont. You're not letting Concord just run away with these various opportunities. They are playing a lot more defensive, though. You are committing 3 players kind of towards this net, and even now, having everybody go back towards the reset instead of having a player up in mid. It's important to kind of stop these defense, but in instances like this, that's a bump onto They Love Me. He's not going to be able to get back. Thankfully, you have Wyvern and Turtle. you can set this up, you can get the saves, which is beneficial, but you don't really have a player to follow up. You can't really pass it to. So now Wyvern doesn't have any boost to actually confirm the shot that he had set up. It's on to other players. Can Turtle get it in? No. They Love Me goes a little bit wide, and this is where it gets scary. Some of the short fallbacks of the playstyle Podmont are opting for.
Yeah, Concord missing a few of those saves and just kind of whiffing a couple of those hits. Piedmont had an opportunity to get a lead here in game number 4, but just barely going wide on those shots, on those corners. Hero now looking for the clear. Will be able to do so, pushing it over towards Turtle in mid. Turner now full boost to their name, taking it to the air. This could be some crazy stuff if he gets the flip reset coming through, but not able to use it just yet, as Piedmont is able to disrupt the pathing of Turner there, getting this ball out of the air. They love me as well. Getting aggressive, but Concord already on those rotations.
You remember how I said, surely we don't have another 0-0 overtime again?
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting flashbacks to that. We may have another 0-0 overtime.
Yeah.
The defense is just so solid.
The defense is playing great right now from both sides. They love me able to get that touch over to that left corner of their half of the field. A minute to go here, 0-0, like you said. This could be another 0-0 overtime angle, unless it's Deshaw.
Deshaw.
Capitalizes. Wyvern in position, however, but Turner with another shot. They love it. Was in position, but the speed of that ball, like we said before, it's hard to get that position and really push that ball out of harm's way. Just a little bit past They Love Me, actually, just not able to get back in time to get really solid contact on that ball.
Piedmont 100% thought that they were safe in that exact moment, and they were not anticipating Turner having that much power behind his shot, and Concord getting the lead now with how slow this game has been going in terms of the actual points scored. You got to be spared. Piedmont need to come back here, and now will be a demolition, but not for the team that needs the point. Hero will be a volley up over the back. It's not going to amount to too much. Concord, though, their priority, keep the ball away from Piedmont, where Piedmont, all it is, move yourselves off of this midfield pass. Hero, another beautiful shot. You can tell the confidence which the single point has managed to instill. They have to hold it through till the end.
Hero already back on that rotation to get these clears back. Turtle just barely missing that shot that would have tied it up. 7 seconds left. Wyvern has the position on this ball if they were able to keep it up, with the clear coming through from Concord. The ball likely hitting the ground. Yes, it will. We're going to a game 5. The reverse sweep is still alive.
There's no way. I love watching Rocket League. I don't care how many times I've said that today. Like, this is just incredible. And Wyvern and Turner both have showed up in incredible capacities, but for starting off 1-0 OT. Now capping game 4, 0-1. And then in between, we had a 7-pointer and a 6-pointer. Every single goal has been scored by Turner so far. You can see it in the shots. You can see it in the saves. And he's been playing out of his mind throughout the day today. And all it took was that 1 point. Piedmont really got it together in game number 4. I actually had a lot of confidence in them to be the one to find that one goal, to break through what we've seen from Concord. But instead, it came down to the smallest thing, the smallest bit of overconfidence that ended up getting to them losing out on that final point in the last minute of the game, and it cost them this now game 5, a reverse sweep potentially on the way. With how good Piedmont started this game, I want to see that same fire brought back for number 5.
Yeah, game 5 is going to have a lot of action, hopefully, right? But in these last two, not last game, but game 2 and game 3 both had 5-second goals right off of the first kickoff.
Surely not another one.
Surely not. Surely we do not have another 5-second goal to start game 5, but both teams have won in those instances. Game 2 went over to Piedmont with that early 5-second goal, and then Concord bringing it back in game 3 with a 5-second goal of their own, winning that one as well. So maybe it's whoever gets that 5-second goal to start, that might be who wins it.
Or even who gets the first point. I mean,
maybe,
technically in the overtime, that was the first point.
That is true.
In
true.
On our 1-0, that was the first point. Ends up winning the game. Whether that's a momentum mental thing or not, you're not really sure. But in game number 5, tensions are high. This is the game that matters! So we're not getting a 5-second game. We're getting a 2-second one. You want to revisit that?
Yeah, so 2 seconds is a little bit faster than 5. Turner, just a beam right down the pipe for Concord, and that is 9 goals for Turner alone, I believe, so far.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Piedmont, you got to find where this guy is, because Turner is tearing it up right now on the field. 10 seconds in, already 1-0 for Concord. Piedmont need to try to find a response. Turtle carrying it through that left side corner, but unable to do anything with it just yet. Clear coming through from Wyvern as well. A bounce coming through. Turtle almost able to capitalize on the pass coming through from Wyvern, but Concord again just in prime position to get those saves.
Well, we do get to test if our first point wins you the game theory is true. That's true, right? Yeah. We can go with that. Turner keeps his record absolutely spotless, his 9th goal, and Piedmont now the ones that have to make this comeback. You start out 2-0. To be in a game 5 right now is never a feel good. I'm going to use our university team as an example. We end up in game 5 quite a bit, and it's such a hard time to balance as a team, whether you're the ones coming up on the reverse sweep, knowing you had a rocky start, or having some of the best starts in the game and forcing yourself to come back after falling behind a little bit. A lot of this pressure, especially losing out on that first point. Piedmont has to get one in, and it bounces basically in and out of the goal. You saw it was almost half of the ball that was in the net, but you need all 100% of that thing past the line in order for it to count. Piedmont are close, Ben. I wouldn't be shocked if they tied this up soon.
Turtle had that angle, but just barely unable to get that final touch to get that ball into the back of the net. Now Concord aggressive on this attacking side. Hero having an angle, but not able to capitalize it just yet. Turner again. Turtle going in reverse, able to get that one out of harm's way. Now the clear coming through is Turtle and Wyvern. If Wyvern's able to make contact, this might be a look that Piedmont was looking for. Turtle just unable to get that momentum. The pass not quite there. The clear coming through from Concord as well. Turner now trying to make something happen, but not just yet. Hero back on defense, able to find that clear on goal, but Turtle as well on that defensive rotation for Piedmont.
If we're not counting this exact moment, Piedmont has had the greater offensive possession so far, and that's been really good for them. Less opportunities for Concord to score, and I don't really want to count a kickoff goal is often more times luck of the draw based on the pinch that you end up getting. It's really unfortunate that happened for the sake of Piedmont, if we're looking from their perspective, but it doesn't matter. You get a demo on the goal line, you have the team play to solidify it. I mean, this is what we're talking about right here.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Wyvern not even looking at the ball at all. Does blood in their eyes. Sees Turner in position, is like, you gotta go. Is able to do so, and this Turtle then following up on the goal, tying it up at 1, 2:30 to go here in game number 5. Piedmont again. Wyvern trying to get this angle, trying to get that aerial, but the clear again coming through from Hero. Deshaw and Hero on this offensive side. Turner opting to play a little bit more defensive here, looking for the clear, getting it past Wyvern by themselves. A double tap coming through, just barely missing, going a little bit wide there from Turner. 2 to go, tied at 1.
Turner scares me. Turtle really scares me right now. And he's just pulling off these incredible carries and dribbles that they're not easy at all. And he's living in the skybox. Like that is his new home. He'll come down every once in a while to help his teammates against players such as Turtle, but it's a tap on away. It's spinning down to the other side. Can Wyvern get there? Yes, he can. Piedmont maintaining their even score, at least for the time being. This is getting really close, really tense right now, and it's all been Turner has been getting stuffed up in a box. Piedmont are finally keeping him in check.
Yeah, Turner trying to get aggressive there on that run, but runs out of boost, unable to follow up on that play. Now Piedmont, Turtle with the angle, able to find the upper left corner. 2-1 now for Piedmont.
And this is Turtle. And look at this read. You're getting the read off of the corner. You're meeting up mid-air. There's just no chance. You don't react to that. That angle is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at Concord for missing that because it was just an outrageous hit of Turtle.
Yeah, the angle, that top-down angle that you can get from that backboard area is very, very hard to defend. Just those aerial shots. They're just difficult. Now a shot again on goal. Turner. That makes 10.
We're double digits
on
now.
The series.
Double digits.
The clear. Turtle trying to get in position, but again, just not expecting these clears to come through from Concord. We're tied up at 2 with 1:03 to go.
I just want to put this in perspective. Turner has more goals than the entirety of Piedmont combined.
Yeah.
In this series, he's out of his mind. He's playing insane. You've gotten yourself from a reverse sweep. You're down 2-0 on match point. It is now tied 2-2. 50 seconds left on the clock. Piedmont Concord. Realistically, next person to score here is going to take away the game. And in overtime, yes, it is possible with how close it's been with these nerves running progressively higher. It's only a matter of time before that crumbles. And Turner is the player you need to be keeping your eye on. That's a dribble downfield and not enough boost in his back pocket in order to carry that further on down. You notice how Piedmont are slowing down the series, this pace of the game to kind of meet their own standards. It's been Turtle with every point from Piedmont so far, and he wants to try to keep it that way. Kind of stalling out in the midfield. We'll have 12 seconds, and it's going to be Piedmont with this last offensive stretch. It goes off the backboard. Wyvern off across the post. Once again, they love me. Setting up their team for victory, but no, it will be the love me. Backing down to the other end, we're going to get an overtime in our game number 5. Sudden death, next point takes the series.
Game 5 indeed. Turner winning the kickoff there in favor of Concord, but Wyvern able to get that clear back over Hero's car. Turtle now, a lot of boost to their name, but able to get the clear is Concord. Deshaw now trying to make contact with the ball, but just barely misses. They love me.
Whoa!
Has the angle and is able to capitalize on it. 22 seconds of overtime. Piedmont avoid the reverse sweep and will win the series 3-2.
It might have been close, but Piedmont are going to remain undefeated in overtime points, denying the reverse sweep and sneaking away with their first week victory. And what a showing this was. Ben, say it with me. I love high school Rocket League. This is
high school
it.
Rocket League, man.
This is it. This is some of the best levels of competition. Even if you have some newer players that are learning how to adjust to this team style, or you have some more seasoned veterans that have more experience with the mechanics of this game, all sorts of skill levels are able to come together and develop themselves as a team. And Piedmont team play was the name of their game today. Very different strategies on both ends, but at the end of the day, it was the 3-man strat that pulled through.
Yeah, and props to Turner, right, on Concord.
Absolutely.
10 goals, I believe, through this entire series. 2 goals per game, if you will. It didn't happen that way, but it could have. If
it very well
the
could have,
math
yeah.
is like that, right? If the math is mathing, it works out to be 2 goals per game. But yeah, the reverse sweep was so close, but just unable to get over that final hump. Like you said, the team play from Piedmont coming through clutch there. They love me able to find that last goal on that clear, but props to Turtle and Wyvern as well.
Absolutely.
Able to hunker down on that defensive side and just keep Concord at bay in that overtime of those last 22 seconds.
These are another 2 teams that I'm going to have my spotlight on the entirety rest of the season. I mean, we've only seen 4 out of the however many teams that are playing within the VESL circuit. So the fact that the level of gameplay has been as good as it has surpassed all expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, these are high schoolers, a lot of them playing at almost above collegiate level at some points. We talked about this a lot earlier. Rocket League is a game that really you can build these skills up in that high school scene, and Piedmont, Concord, perfect examples of where this can all really start and turn into something bigger should they want to move that far. But as a start of a season, a week 1 finish, both of their series going to game 5, I mean, my heart's still racing from that last one.
I love me some game 5s, right? We definitely have a lot of them here at SU, right, with our team. They like their game 5s.
They do.
So
we like their game 5s.
We love the game 5s.
We do.
It has so much energy and an overtime game 5 as well. What
the
a way
ultimate game 5.
The ultimate game 5, the overtime game 5. What a way to end off the day. But yeah, props to everyone today, both in the first game, ASEC and Monroe, and then Piedmont and Concord here playing very, very great Rocket League.
Yep, week one. Week one, set and done as we conclude our final Rocket League match of the day. But the season is only just beginning. We're going to resume our competition next week with broadcast Valorant on Wednesday, Super Smash Brothers Thursday, and of course back here for Rocket League on Friday. Make sure you go ahead and give the VESL channel a follow to stay updated and come back to support your high schoolers. They're going places, I can tell you. Pleasure to be on here on the desk, and we're going to go ahead and see you all next week.